Welcome back to the MaxiFi Getting Started video series. I'm Ed O'Connor-Giles, CTO for MaxiFi, and in this video we're going to run a maximized plan. And as I've mentioned, in the base plan video, you really should have a good solid understanding and comfort level with your base plan before you move on to the maximized plan or really any other report in MaxiFi. It's really critical that you feel comfortable that the base plan is accurately reflecting your assumptions and your current and your financial status before you move on with anything else. So when it comes to the maximized plan, just click on the Maximize Plan button, and we currently offer three options. One is Social Security, the other is Roth conversions if you have the premium version of MaxiFi, and then optimizing retirement account withdrawals allows you to optimize the smooth withdrawal start dates for one or both spouses, as well as whether to take Roth withdraw from Roth accounts first, last, or proportional to the assets within, and so you can explore those different options. The one I'm going to run today is maximizing Social Security, but they all basically work the same in terms of how the reports and results are presented. And in each of these different maximization reports, you're going to have this annual spending reduction limit setting. Now, typically what I'll do is start with the default setting, which is to consider all plans. That's going to find the plan that maximizes your discretionary spending the most. However, in some cases you'll see that it will reduce your spending early on and push a lot of spending later in life. And in many cases, that's not exactly what you want to do. Even if that maximizes your lifetime discretionary spending, you don't necessarily want to take a spending cut in the near term. Well, that's an easy problem to solve. You can just click on this second setting, which says ignore plans where the annual discretionary spending in any year dips below that I've established in the base plan. Or if you're okay with taking a slight reduction but just don't want it to go down as far as maybe the original result is telling you, then you can adjust that threshold here. But as I said, in general, what I would suggest is that you start by considering all possible plans so that you see what the maximum lifetime spending is. Okay, so here are your maximization results. Now, using the magic of video technology, I've skipped over some of the runtime there. It can take a minute or two, even longer, depending on the plan to run the maximization. But typically, this would be a process that you don't have to do too often, and it's worth waiting for to find out the results. So, the first chart you'll see is your lifetime discretionary boost. Here you can see by maximizing Social Security, this couple gets over $250,000 in additional lifetime spending. So that's definitely worth understanding this strategy. In the annual discretionary spending chart, you'll see that in this case, the discretionary spending in every year is above that of the base plan. So the discretionary spending shown in green is the maximized spending, in gray is the base plan, and so this looks like a plan that you might as well just do. As I mentioned before, if in some cases you see that discretionary spending is lower than the base plan and you don't want that, that's where you use that setting up front to limit the solutions that we look at. So, and this last chart down here will tell you, well, what went up to create those that additional discretionary spending and what went down. Here you can see that, well, Social Security benefits increased by this amount, whereas federal taxes were decreased, and all that combined is what led to the maximization. And this is important to study, particularly when you start getting into the Roth conversions, to look at some of these details. Now over here on the right, you'll see the actual details of the plan. So if you go into the Social Security Changes tab, you'll see the actual benefits year by year that result from the different strategies, the base plan as well as the maximized plan, and you can see where the differences are. So here in the base plan, filing at 62 versus filing at 69 in the maximized plan. If you run one of the Roth conversions or the other retirement account optimizations, then you'll see some detail in these reports where we show we'll show you the annual changes. If we had run the Roth conversion, you would see, maximize plan Roth conversion annual amounts to convert over here. Again, in the top row of the reports, we have some additional options, so you can compare the base plan versus maximized plan. You can select what to compare. So maybe you're interested in seeing, well, how did those taxes change over time? I wasn't expecting that. And here you can see how that works out year over year. If you need to drill in even further to see that, you have results, the access to the full results of the base plan and the maximized plan, just as you would kind of expect to see if you had just run one of these plans standalone. And you can also download a PDF that shows you the full information, as well as Excel data for both of the base and the maximized plan. Now, the last thing you'll want to do, let's say you've iterated over this and you're comfortable with these with what the maximized plan is showing you. You have two options here to apply these changes. If you're really comfortable with it, there's you decided this is what you want to do, then you apply it to your base plan. That way, changes the base plan with, let's say, in this case, it would be the Social Security filing strategy would be updated, and now your base plan would equal the maximized plan. You can also, if you want to explore it a little bit more, click on this Apply to New Alternative Profile button, and that's going to automatically create an alternative profile that has those changes in it, so that you can continue to explore around before you commit to applying changes to your base plan. So I hope that gives you a good overview of the maximized report. I'll see you in the next video.